Hello, welcome back to another video tutorial here at GeekatPlay Studios. My name is Gary Miller. Today's tutorial I'm going to create a very simple model in Hexagon, and we're going to export it and bring it into Poser and create some materials for it using Poser's material editor. So I think just to make a very simple model, I'm going to create a cylinder, and I'll have 0 sections, and I'll cap the top and the bottom. I think I'll make a very simple street light, so I'll select the bottom of that, and let's just give it a little bit of a base here. And come up here to the top. And make a little base at the top. There we are. And I will grab a sphere. Zero it out on the X. Zero this out on the X. Oops. The objective of this is not how to make a street light. Obviously, it's very simple. But if you've never played around with Poser before and creating materials, this will give a good basic overall introduction to that. And I wanted to create a simple object here, and I'm going to apply a couple of different domains to it just to get us familiar with creating colored domains, material domains, and why they are important to create them here in Hexagon before we get into Poser. Okay, so this is the vertical support. I think what I'll do is I'll keep the pole the default color, but this top and the bottom, I'm just going to hold down shift and hit my plus button to select those, and I'll create a new domain for those and a new color as well, and we'll create a dark color for that. Come down here to this and hold down shift and hit the plus on the numeric keyboard, and I'm just going to hit this plus sign over here to add those newly selected faces to my domain. So I've got those two colors here. I'll come back to my light, create a new color for that, and I'll just give it a blue color. Okay, so we're done with our fancy street light, and I will export this, the wavefront object, and I'll just call it light. It already exists. Yeah, save. Okay, and now off into Poser. Okay, so here in Poser, I'm going to import a wavefront object, and I want it placed on the floor, and I'll select my light, and there's my fancy light. I'm going to come over here to Materials. So here we are in the material editor. One thing that's really cool about Poser is as soon as you get in the material editor and you come over here to the preview window where your model is, your cursor automatically turns into a eyedropper. So whatever object that you click on, you sample that color. So here's our blue, here's our white for the light pole, blue for the globe or the light, and the top and bottom of our pole is this black color. Well, let's first click on this blue. We'll give it kind of an aged yellowish color, and for transparency, I'll just do a numeric value of 0.5. Now here's my pole. I kind of want a concrete color. At least the light poles in the city I'm in are made out of like reinforced concrete or something. So this white color is fine with me, but what I do want to do is add some bump to it. So I'm going to come down here to bump, and I'm going to click on this little electrical plug. And I'm going to create a new node, come down here to 3D textures, and I think I'll use noise for that. And it automatically links the two together, and it gives me this default of 0.0833333, and that's a little much. I'm going to put 0.02, and let's do a render and see what it looks like. That looks pretty good, at least at this distance. Maybe if I zoomed in a little closer I might want to change it, but you get the idea. Of to change your bump, the amount of bump, this is all you've got to do to adjust that. Let's actually go 0.01 and do a render of that. No, wrong one. That'll work. Okay. Oh, I like that better. Okay, now let's come down here to our the base of it, and then it'll sample that color. And I think I want a high specular value. Because this will be metal. And let's do a render. Now, over here in this window where the objects are, I've got only one object. Well, not including the ground, but I've got light. When I created it in Hexagon, there were two objects. There was the top globe and this vertical pole. But when you bring models into Poser, it welds them all together. So if I did not create these three different colors, I had this default color for the pole, I created the domain and created a black material for the base and the top, and for the light globe I created another color. If I had not assigned any colors to this, I would not be able to color these three parts individually. It would all be one color, and no matter what color I changed it to, that change would affect the entire object. So that's one of the things you really need to keep in mind if you're going to create models and bring them into Poser. You've got to assign different color textures to the various parts of your model. Either that, or you will have to import each specific piece of your model one at a time separately, and then you'll have to rearrange them and group them together here, or arrange them properly here in view, in Poser. But just assigning each piece its own color, and or creating domains on your objects makes it much easier when you bring them into view. So that is from Hexagon to Poser, and I hope this tutorial can, I don't know, maybe make you a little bit more comfortable in using Poser to show off and render and use some of the models that you create in Hexagon. So thanks for watching this tutorial here at GeekatPlay Studios. My name is Gary Miller. Have a good day.